One of the easiest ways to make a game feel alive is the weather inside it. So in Sheep Game, I built a system that changes the mood, the visibility, the tension every time you play. In this video, I'll show you how I made the dynamic weather system for my game, and why I added it, and how it makes each day feel a little bit different. When I first started building out the level, it felt strange. Without any clouds or fog, the world looked too empty, and it didn't really have any atmosphere I wanted. So to fix that, I started using Unity's HDRP clouds and fog. That helped a lot, but after a while I noticed another problem. Just adding the fog and clouds wasn't enough, because after a while the maps started feeling repetitive again. The system works by changing a few different settings at the start of each day. It adjusts fog density, fog height, cloud density, and cloud height. Because of that, one day can be bright and clear, while the next can be cloudy and foggy, making it harder to see and a little harder to get your tasks done. I set up a few weather types like clear, normal, foggy, and thick fog. Then the game randomly picks one at the start of each day with different chances for each type. On top of also just completely randomized values, so someday you might have really bad fog and the next day it's completely clear for a week straight. It's just completely random each playthrough. The best part about the weather system is that it adds to the game itself. Even though the map doesn't change, the random weather makes each day feel a little less predictable. A foggy day can feel more tense, while a bright day feels much more open. That change in atmosphere alone helps the world feel more alive. It also helps with playability. That's why I like the system like this here, because it doesn't really need a huge amount of content, just different weather, and it adds to playability, so each run is slightly different from the last. I also plan to push this further later on by making scarier events happen more often during heavy fog or cloud days. So the weather won't just look different, it also affects how each day feels to play. But there is still one problem with using HDR effects like this. When using HDRP fog and clouds, they can be pretty demanding, especially on lower end PCs. While they look great and add lots to the atmosphere, but not everyone playing the game is going to have the systems that can run those effectively and smoothly. Since I want Sheep Game to be playable for as many people as possible, I didn't want the weather system to end up being something that hurts the experience for players with a weaker hardware. So instead of forcing those effects on all the time, I made them completely optional in the settings. To do that, I created another script that lets the player toggle volumetric fog and clouds before loading into the game. That way, if someone has a stronger PC, they can keep those effects on and get the full atmospheric experience. But if they're on lower end hardware, they can turn those settings off and still play without the game taking such a big performance hit. I think that was a very important fix because it let me keep the visual style I wanted without making the game harder to run than it needs to be. So now the system works in a way that gives the players more of a choice. If you want a full mood atmosphere, it's there, and if it's just you want better performance, that option is there too. In the end, I think that makes the weather system a lot better overall because it isn't just about making the game look good. It's about making sure people can enjoy it too and run it at a good, decent FPS. It's a simple system, but it changes a lot how Sheep Game feels later on. I want to connect more gameplay events to the weather, so each day feels more unique. If you found this video interesting, consider checking out the demo. It's still early in development, but I'm updating it a lot. The link is down below. That is all for now. Bye.